I don't know if we're live yet. All right, we are live. Okay, cool. Hello, guys. Hello. Hopefully, you guys can actually all see the stream. I've tried to put the YouTube chat up, so as people come into the stream, if you would like to test that out, I don't know if it's actually going to work. It's more or less like my windowed bracket, so not my windowed bracket. I guess my windowed like thing that I actually read chat off of. I just kind of cropped it and put it in. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. And in today's stream, we've got the best Westeros castles. Some of the things on here aren't exactly castles. Like Castle Black, it's not really a castle. It's more like there's a wall and there's like some buildings on the other side. It's not really a castle, but it's cool. We're putting it on the list, and I don't care. All right. And then, there's some other things on here where it's like the Shadow Tower, is that really a castle? Like, there's things like that on this list, but yeah. Also, this list, very differently from our bracket, I guess, from last week, is not exactly like I manually kind of put everything in. This one is randomized again, and I just thought it made sense more for the castles because I felt like certain regions have way more castles, and it was very hard to equal everything out. So I ended up going kind of that route. But yeah. So that's kind of how I like somewhat formulated the bracket. So it's kind of random. Some things I did tweak with because I didn't want there to be anything like Winterfell versus like King's Landing round one. So I think the only one I switched is I think King's Landing was supposed to go against Casterly Rock in the first one, but I ended up just switching it. But yeah. Hi Zen Book. Hi Matthew. Okay, let me check the OBS. I want to see if that's coming. Okay, that's coming on there pretty good then. All right, good. I also have no idea what that you guys see on the screen. Opt in for the chance to get a Grease Goblin 1 month gift membership and access to exclusive perks. I don't know what that means, okay? I tried even selecting this. I don't know what that means. I heard there was like new features from YouTube like today or something, but I don't know. How are you guys doing? I also wanted to say, okay, I need ideas, okay? Lads in the chat. I need ideas. So I got done making a membership like alert. And I thought it was a pretty good one. I just did like the show. When John and Sam are taking their vows, I took like a little bit of that and made that like the member alert. So hopefully that works whenever someone wants to be a member or something, as I hit myself in the face. What do you guys think would be cool for donation alert? I just want to know. Hi, Casper. How are you? That is what I want to know. I want to know, what do you guys think would be a cool donation alert? I thought about doing like a Lannister always pays his debts, but it just didn't like feel right. And then I was going to do something funny where I was going to do every time like somebody would donate or something or do a super chat or I don't know, all those things. It would pop up with Euron going, a finger in the bum. I thought that would be funny. Even though that's one of the worst dialogue in probably all the shows. Okay, let me go ahead. I already have the first round made. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat. And while we're just talking, I'll just put this in here. So that'll be in there for you guys to vote on. Also, a lot of the problems I've had in past streams has been what was I gonna say? Oh, so it always takes me a little bit of time to actually create the round 2 poll. And I ended actually I kind of already made it for why can I speak in today's stream? But I've already made like the round 2 poll, and I kind of just went off of who I thought was gonna win, and I'll just edit it off of what you guys pick. It should be more or less the same. I'll just kind of switch some things around, but hopefully that'll make it to where it's not like a 10-minute wait from round 1 to 2, more or less. Okay, do it. I do want it. Okay, all right, I'll take that in consideration. Next tournament could be Beth's Deaths. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Let me screenshot that. If you guys ever have requests or stuff, I'll always just screenshot it. That's why I love doing these in live chat. I think Lannister send their regards would be fitting. That's true. That could be a good one. IDK, all the castles. So this is gonna take me a sec to look at the ones that are. Yeah. go ahead, take your time. I mean, I'm probably not, because I said the stream was gonna be at 7, but I'm gonna be honest, guys. I'm someone that likes to be early, so like I was ready to stream like 6:50, like 6:45, and then I just kind of like decided to just go and just start streaming because I was here. But yeah, I probably won't actually reveal the results for round 1 until like at least 7:10, 7:15, so more people like can get in or whatever. But yeah. Also, for the Streamlads, and also people that are rewatching, I mean, well, what am I gonna say? Oh, I was trying to say. So basically, the people that are like rewatching this as a video, if you guys, had any ideas for future streams that you guys wanted to see, or any of that. Also, I will say, guys, so our discussion last week, if you were in the stream, about Rob's like love interest from the books to show variations. I ended up actually making that into a video for tomorrow because I thought that was a really fun one. But yeah. Also, Casper. If you want me to be honest, Casper, when I was going through doing these castles, I kind of looked up like the world of A Song of Ice and Fire like areas, and there's just certain castles where I know the houses, but if you told me like a certain one of these castles, I have no idea what they are. Like I've either heard of them or like, because some of them it was just like I was trying to get a lot of the regions in here, and some of them I'm just like, dude, I don't know half these. Casper, you should just make a vote. Just pick whichever ones you actually know and or like. That's what I would do. Because personally, like some of these, I'm just like whatever. Also, I do want to point this out. This is something I didn't understand with the Iron Islands. Is the Iron Islands, right? You would think their castles would have a name, right? But they really don't. It's just the island. Like the Greyjoys, right? Their castle, quote unquote, is Pike. Like that's also the island. So it's kind of weird the way that works out, but yeah. So ones like Pike, Great Wick, Old Wick. I think, do I have Black Tide on here? I do have Black Tide on here. And I think I have, hold on, let me look through. I think I have Harlaw on here somewhere. But yeah, those are all the islands. They're not really the castles, but it is the castle, so it's weird. River Run for the win. River Run is an awesome castle. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, River Run's a really cool one. The way, like, all the rivers come into the it's just a really cool one. I think if I was giving you guys who I think should win, I would probably go, like, Dragonstone. I think it's the coolest for me, but I don't know. We'll see. Also, I did just upload, so if you guys wanted to watch the video after the stream or not, I did do a video today about one of the reasons I think Winds of Winter is like taking a little bit to kind of be released. And it's kind of about Daenerys because like I think Daenerys, I don't know, I think she has so much going on in her character, and I think the Dothraki thing in the long run was probably a bad idea for George because I think it's going to take up at least half of the book. And he also even has to get Daenerys like to Westeros, so it's a bit, I don't know. Riverrun looks a lot like castles in my country. That's cool. Where do you live at, Casper? You should have included Queen's Crown. I could have. There's a lot of ones I probably forgot about. Like, in the original, like, one of these, I didn't have Dragonstone in it because I just completely forgot about it. Which is really, like, yeah. Dragonstone's literally my favorite castle, and I literally forgot about it, so, not what you like to see. How are your guys' days going, by the way? Mine's been a pretty weird one. So I have like I have my own personal Instagram where it's not like related to the Grease Goblins at all. And then I have like the personal one. But yeah, on my like personal like Instagram, I got followed by my work today, and that was really weird. So that was kind of weird. I also had like this thing where I had an eBay posting of a bunch of my old like, parts or whatever. And randomly one of them got bought, and I didn't even think they were still on there. But yeah, that was weird. I live in the Netherlands. I live in the Netherlands in Amsterdam. Nearby is, ooh, that's cool. I'd love to go to the Netherlands. That seems like a really cool place to go. Super rainy. Yeah. I don't like how Danny just forgot about the Iron Fleet. Hey, it's pretty easy to forget about a giant fleet that has been the big naval power within the Seven Kingdoms for forever. You know, it's pretty easy to forget about that. You know, like why would she remember the Iron Fleet is the better part? You know, like what what's the Iron Fleet? You know what? Let's take it a step further. Who even are the Greyjoys? Has Dany even had her history lessons? Like we know good old Fagon, like he was getting all the history lessons, but was Dany? Dany's main teacher was Viserys, so who knows? I feel you, bro. And now my boss kept on bugging me what my social media was. Yeah, well, it's like Matthew. It's weird because like I'm pretty sure I know who created the social media. Like it's not even the boss, right? It's literally like the company, and I'm like, this is just weird because I have my personal like account where it's like anybody can view it. Like you can go on, like you can look up Eric Gentry, and like it's not private or anything, but look up Metersot. It looks like the show could be. Ooh, okay. Let me look. Let me look right now. Castle. Oh, it generally actually does. I think. Okay, so I was looking up thumbnails for the, or I was looking up castles for thumbnails, and for the thumbnail of the stream, and I think I actually saw this pop up. Yeah, that is actually sick. All right. Dany literally had so many choices in the books to do the right and easy thing and be on her way, but her ego and grumpiness and her downfall. Uh, yeah, Dany. I don't know. I have problems with Dany. And then Matthew, which show got? I would assume so. Wait, what are you referring to, Matthew? Dany literally had so many choices in the. Yeah, I already read that. Okay, yeah. So Dany, I don't know. Like, I just feel like Dany. I like that the idea that she stays in Meereen and tries to get some idea of ruling before like going to Westeros. But at the same time, it's like if you literally look at Meereen, she's never going to be able to like actually rule it. I mean, like maybe she ends up doing it, which I don't think she's going to. I think maybe someone like Hizdar is going to end up ruling it. But I think genuinely, I just don't think there was any reason to do that. Oh, yeah. I think that genuinely, it looks like it could have been with Game of Thrones. Honestly, it kind of it gives off that vibe, but the height of my disappointment in the show was how small the castle and the Battle of High Garden were. When it's so bad for those to be cooler. Well, I think it's even worse that we didn't even see a Battle of High Garden. Like, we just waltzed up and like, oh, the Lannisters took High Garden. What? In your free time, have a listen to Heightened theme song. It's an Indian show. Ooh, okay, all right. Um, what books are you currently reading? Zen. Okay, I have a ton of books I'm reading. So I have like 3 different books I'm reading right now. So one of them is Fire and Blood, which I'm kind of doing just to refresh myself on the knowledge going into House of the Dragon. And then, so yeah, and I'm also just kind of trying to take down notes for some other videos I have planned that are going to be kind of all based on the Targaryen history. So yeah, I'm going through that. I'm also going through the Star Wars prequel books. I don't know if this is going to show on the camera that well, but this is the Phantom Menace like movie version book or something. So I've been reading that, and then I also have the Clone Wars to also read, and then I'm also reading The Hobbit. So yeah, I'm reading all 3 of those in tandem at the moment. I have, let's see, I had this one book I found downstairs in the basement that my dad had. It was like it's like a religious one, I guess, but I don't know. And then I've got like a history book on like Hitler and Stalin, like their war and stuff like that in the East in World War II. I have a Richard Nixon book talking about kind of like his rise or I guess his fall, his rise, his fall, and then his rise and fall again. Because like he rose as a politician, he then didn't win the election against JFK, and then he rose back up, became president, but then lost it. Yeah, you guys get it. But yeah, so I have a lot of books I'm reading currently. Did the Queen of Thorns give you a last prick in the balls for Game of Thrones? Yeah, Knights of the Seven Kingdom down the line. Yes. So I am going to get Knights of the Seven King or Knight of the Seven Kingdoms right after I get done with Fire and Blood. That's the plan. So also Fagon. Okay, so Fagon's an interesting one. I think Fagon. I've done a lot of videos on Fagon, by the way, because they're some of my most successful videos on the channel. By the way, I will like do the round one results at like 7:15. So for anyone waiting for that, that is when those will be released. But Fagon to me is just kind of destined, I think, to take King's Landing and just kind of be that catalyst for Daenerys when she comes over. I think it makes it more personal for Daenerys, and then also, I just think King's Landing right now and Cersei and all that, it's gonna come to kind of come to a head. I voted for Summerhall just because of Dunk and Egg. That's fair. That's fair. I did a video on Summerhall, and that was a really fun video to do. Honestly, I think there's a lot of speculation that goes into Summerhall, and a lot of things that I hope we like eventually get revealed at some point, like what like truly was going on there, because there's still a lot of question marks about Summerhall, but yeah. Also, so I don't know how some of you guys, I don't know how, I guess, I don't know how many videos you guys have seen of the channel, but if you guys remember, I did a video on, I ranked every single Targaryen like king, I guess, and now that I'm like rereading Fire and Blood, I don't think I did. I don't think that was a good video at all. Like I put Maegor really low, and like yeah, Maegor, he's not a good king, right? Like he's not good. But at the same time, he does a lot of things that were actually pretty good and helped the Targaryen line like continue, with being like the Faith Militant and stuff like that. But the best sword in Song of Ice and Fire is another good. Yes, that's a good. Wait, are you saying that the best actual sword or like the best swordsman? Because those are two different things. But I mean, okay, so I'm gonna give you guys my first like 100 pages review of Fire and Blood, even though I've read it like a couple times. Fire and Blood is paced really well at the beginning, like really well. Like I'll talk about it when I do my and eventually do my Fire and Blood book review, but the beginning and like the middle to end, like the middle, the ending of the middle, and then the ending is really good, but the middle is like eh. Like, because you go from, like, Aegon's Conquest, which, of course, is going to be really super interesting. And then you go to Aenys' reign, right? So that's the son of Aegon. And then you also have Maegor, who's also the son of Aegon. And that's just with two different wives. So one's with Rhaenys, the other one with Visenya. But it's really cool to see how different those actually are. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Ethan, for $20. Thank you, my guy. Thank you, Ethan. I really appreciate that. Well, Ethan, since you are like the first, like, you know, big super chat, you're not the first, I don't think, actually, but do you have any ideas what alerts I should do for the channel for stuff like that? I'm also salty that they never had awesome views of Dragonstone when Stannis was there. Only scenes inside the castle of him from what I can remember. Stannis deserves better. I think the problem, especially with like Dragonstone, which is something I really don't understand, is even when Daenerys goes to Dragonstone in the later seasons, my thing is why I always thought there probably weren't great shots of Dragonstone early on in the show was because of the budget. But later on in this, later on in the show, they had opportunities. Like, we're at Dragonstone quite a lot. But, I don't know. The ending of Fire and Blood after a Dance with the Dragons is almost unbearable. I gave up. Zen, okay, see, I'm the opposite, but it's because I looked for things at the end, especially when I did my reread of it. And I was doing a lot of videos talking about A Dance with Dragons. I personally like it because it shows a lot of the ideas of what am I trying to say? Of the Maester conspiracy, because there's a lot of things that go on with Aegon the Third that are a little weird to me, but yeah. But I can definitely see where you're coming from, Zen, because I think if you're not looking for things like that, or you're not invested in the story, like really heavily invested, you probably won't like it. That's one of the things I'll probably talk about in that video. But yeah. I think Egg just went mad at Summerhall trying to resurrect the dragons, ended up burning the place down, or burned the place down to kill his family to bring them back. Only death pays for life. That's true, Matthew. I also think like I also think Egg at that point was just really disappointed in all of his children. I mean, if you look at Egg, he had almost no control, and I feel like I think he got very desperate, and he wanted the dragons to help control the realm, because he kind of saw how little control he was having, even over his own children. So that's kind of how I look at it. The Reigns of Castamere is your alert sound. That would be a good one. So my only thing with that is I don't know if I'll get copyright for playing a small bit of the Reigns of Castamere as an alert. So that will be my only concern about that. I don't think I would, especially because if you look at my intro is literally like one of the most famous quotes in all of Game of Thrones. I just kind of spliced it, which is maybe why I don't get copyrighted on it, but I'm not sure, honestly. All right, 2 minutes, guys, for voting, and then I will reveal the first bracket. Again, thank you, Ethan. Appreciate the support as always. But yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm still copyright to me on YouTube is a really weird thing to me, because it's like you'll see it where in some videos, right, they'll play like movie clips in the background of the video the entire time, but then you don't get copyright. But then like you see other people where it's like they use it in a comedical way, so they'll have the sound on, and you'll get kind of copyrighted for it. Like you see that with a lot of YouTubers that try to do like a compilation. So there's like Stannis videos where it's like it plays a lot of Stannis' like best moments from the show, but those will get copyrighted, which I think is dumb, because usually they're like splicing them together and also adding things to the scene, like Thug Stannis and stuff like that. It's a really weird thing to me. Copyright's something that is really weird. And that's like another thing with like images. That's not even just for like shows or sounds, stuff like that. It's like images. Like you guys, like, it's weird because if you've never been a YouTuber or a video creator or anything like that, you don't it'll be really hard to understand how much you have to go into putting a lot of images into your like videos. So like if you look at Alt Shift X, one of the reasons like I really respect a lot of his content on that is because of how many images he actually does. Like the amount of just sourcing and shit like that goes into that to make sure like you're not like ripping somebody's like art off or something like that is just it gets to be a lot. Do you think Stannis the Manus is going to repeat his victory against Victarion on Freys and Manderleys? I think so. Stannis to me, I think, is destined to win. Well, here's the thing, Young Wolf. Actually, for one, I think the Manderleys actually aren't going to be an enemy of Stannis. I think for me, like, I think the Manderleys, they kind of turn right. I think the Freys are going to lose. So I've talked about kind of the night lamp theory where, you know, there's like a light beacon, right, or whatever, and the Freys kind of go into this. They're going to turn that one off. They're going to create a fake one. The Freys go into it. It'll be like the frozen ice thing. They fall in. The Freys, for the most part, die. I think some of them are going to survive, which they'll be taken captive by Stannis or killed, whichever. And then I think the Manderleys flip sides. Your intro is the only one that's ever made me actually hit the like button every time. Well, you love to see that hot noodle salad. I'm kind of surprised because I'm not a very creative person when it comes to that stuff. And I don't know what made me think of that, because I had been thinking about, like, when I first started the channel, I was trying to find an intro. I had thought about that for a long time. Like, that was not the first intro for the channel. Like, it was the first, like, actual concrete one, but it was not the first one I'd actually put together. I just didn't like them before, and I kept looking, and I found that one. So, yeah. Thank you. I always get high praise on my intro. That's one thing I always get high praise on. I've kind of tweaked it a little for the, like, images or whatever, but yeah. Okay. So, let's go ahead, and we're going to start doing the first round. So, a lot of these, again, I think are pretty self-explanatory. I think Storm's End is just destined to win this one. So, Storm's End got the win. I almost X'd out Storm's End on accident there. And then, I always hate using yellow first. Let's do blue. Let's just do a good blue. Storm's End got the victory there. Also, I meant to say, they should have said Starfall, not Starfell. I just kind of goofed when I was typing this up. And I also can't, like, edit it in this kind of screen because they're put into a bracket and then, yeah. So I can only like add text over it, and that just doesn't seem right. Okay. So those are your first two winners, Starfall, and you also had Storm's End. And then Highgarden won the next one pretty well. Let me just go through these actually. So Dreadfort and Highgarden won pretty easily. So Highgarden, Dreadfort. Again, so far these going, I think, how I expected. I think these were pretty like easier matches. I think I don't know how you say this. I say it like Yornwood because there's a Y. Some people just say Ironwood. I don't know. Like it's weird. Winterfell got the dub over Iron Oak Castle. And then, Derry or Faircastle? I wonder who won that one. Derry won, okay. And then the Arbor also won. So, Derry, and then Arbor. Winterfell, can we, there we go. I was struggling to, like, okay, that one's just gonna look weird, whatever. I really hate that it highlights differently, the, like, different ways you do it. Okay, let's see the next ones. We got Harrenhal and then Blackhaven. Okay. So Harrenhal and then Blackhaven. And then moving on from there, we have Goldtown, Pike, and Clegane's Keep. I'm actually surprised by the Clegane's Keep one. I thought you guys would have picked Barrowtown. I think Barrowtown's kind of cooler, but all right, I'll give it to you guys. All right. Pike also won. Clegane's Keep won. All right, let's see what you guys say in the comments. You might be able to get away with it doing like parody version. That's true. I might be able to. I've seen some like copyright free like remixed Game of Thrones like music or whatever that I was gonna use in a video, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. Oh, thank you for saying that, Lars. Yeah. Here's the thing, Lars. I put any video I put George R. Martin in the title does well. I don't really get it. I personally don't understand it, but yeah. But thank you. I appreciate it. Thumbnails are easily my least favorite thing about doing videos, but you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. All right. Moving on, we have Brightwater Keep getting the dub over Rook's Rest. I don't think I saw that one coming. And then Great White over the Crag. I'm actually surprised on both of those. I actually would have gone probably the opposite on both of those, actually. And then like, what you guys pick for the next one? Ashmark won the next, and then also Hornhill. Okay. All right, so those are your winners on this side of it. Let me just cross out the losers. And I will also put the names in for the next round in a second. When I actually get both sides done anyway. I really wish there was a way that, like, if I could just press something and made it go to the next one, that'd be great. But there's just, like, there's no good, like, actual bracket, like, makers, I feel like. All right, moving on. On the right side, we have Lannisport and Sunspear winning. All right. And then Sunspear, rip Eastwatch. I think Eastwatch is pretty cool, but I just think it got a rough draw. River Run beat Castle Black, and then Carhold beat Old Wyke. I don't know if that's how you're actually supposed to say the name there, but I'm just going to go with it. And then we have Dragonstone winning the next round, and I think Old Town won the other one. Yeah. Actually, we have a bunch of clean sweeps. If I could speak, we had a bunch of clean slates here. So Dragonstone 100%, Old Town 100%, and the Eyrie 100%. I think Moat Cailin kind of got a rough draw because, I mean, Moat Cailin's pretty cool, but I don't know. Just rough when you're playing against the Eyrie. Like, the Eyrie is just insane. One of the coolest castles in the entire thing. Moving on, we have Runestone and Seaguard taking out the next one. I'll be completely honest. I think Runestone and Stonehenge probably one of the worst matches of the first round. Just because both of them are not the most important castles in the world. 20% of people, so 2 people said Harlaw over King's Landing. That's kind of surprising. But King's Landing and then also Casterly Rock won. And then, let's see, Greywater Watch or the Twins? That's another interesting one. I'm actually interested to see what you guys picked there. You guys picked the Twins, and then you also picked Craycall Castle. I probably agree with you guys on that one as well. I think I would have picked that as well. And then Duskendale or Summerhall. Went to Summerhall, and then Shadow Tower beat Greenstone. Duskendale also kind of got a rough like first match there, because I think Duskendale is actually pretty cool, but you know. And then the last match, White Harbor was able to pull out the dub over Raven Tree Hall. All right, what do you guys think about the first round matches? Do you like them? Do you not like them? What are you guys thinking here? That's because Roderick the Reader's at Harlaw. You know what? That's fair, Alexis. That's fair. Hey, Jim, at least you got him in. And also, these aren't the important matches. These ones are probably, like, none of those were close. Like, the only close one was Castle Black and River Run. That one was, like, 36% to, like, 63 or 64, whatever it is. But, yeah. But I respect it. I respect it. I respect the Harlaw vote, Alexis, if that was you. Okay, let's move on our winners. So we have Storm's End here. Storm's End. One thing that's tough on the castles is a lot of them have longer names, so the bracket kind of looks a little funky, but oh well. And we'll fix this name. This name should be Starfall. I don't know why the hell I put Starfell in. I don't know. I guess I was thinking about Winterfell. I mean, because it's kind of down there a little bit. Highgarden. And then also, I'm going to go through my... I already have kind of the round 2 typed up already. I kind of did more of the like ones I knew was going to win. But, so yeah, hopefully there shouldn't be as much downtime between the next round, hopefully. Yeah, the longer names are kind of making this look really ugly, but, well. We're not about perfection here, okay? We're just about results. We're about being a democracy here and not having Sansa win the best character. You guys blew my mind when that happened. I lost my composure on that stream. Arbor. And then, you know what? Harrenhal is a dark horse to win the whole thing. If you want me to be honest, that's my big dark horse. Like, there's a lot of cool ones on here, like Winterfell, Castle Rock, Storm's End, all these other... Harrenhal, that's a good shout. That's a good shout for a dark horse winner of this one. I don't know if it's going to. It kind of has a rough one because it's going to have to probably go against Winterfell at some point in the next round, I would assume. But that's if it gets through. Goldtown playing against Blackhaven. Okay, I think Goldtown might have a nice win there. Pike versus Clegane's Keep. All right. Just so we can make this look okay, I'm just going to put Clegane. Because it looks kind of janky already. Let's just, yeah, we'll do that. This one, we're just going to call it Brightwater instead of putting the Keep at the end because it's getting real janky looking. I don't know why, but so I had this, like, college class I was in, and it was a math class. And we were learning about some stuff, and it was just like, it was some advanced stuff, okay? It was confusing. We had a not a great teacher, and this girl in my class just randomly just like not yelled it, but like kind of in a higher voice just goes, "Man, this shit's janky." Dude, that was so funny. Like, there's some things in class where like class sucks, but like there's sometimes, man, there's some good things that come out of class. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Who are the Lords of Greatwater Watch? That is going to be the Reeds. They have a really cool castle because their castle kind of like, you know, moves. I feel like that's one of the reasons that one actually didn't win over the Twins because a lot of people, it's not one of the most known ones, but yeah, it's a really cool one because like, the castle actually moves. Matthew, he's technically not the Lord of Moat Cailin. He's technically like watches over it. It's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much unoccupied. Yeah, is basically what Quincy said. It's more or less unoccupied, but like the Kranich men are basically in charge of kind of like watching over it. Because the reason like Ned, right, in book 1 tells Catelyn to like rearm it or like put more archers there, because there weren't really any there at that point, because again there wouldn't need to be, like everyone's like at peace and stuff like that. Because Moat Cailin is not somewhere you would want to live. Like especially if you're like an enemy, right? You're trying to hold it, like the Greyjoys, Victarion, their whole like army there. They did not have a great time there. But yeah. So yeah, no. Moat Cailin, it's not exactly like I said, a lot of these on here aren't exactly castles. They're more like just cool air. Okay. Is Riverrun spelled with 2 R's in the middle? That's been bugging me all day, and I just have been too lazy to look it up. But yeah, no. Moat Cailin's kind of more like a defensive position that like they man whenever like it's needed. But yeah. So Dragonstone versus Old Town is an interesting one, because we see a lot of times where the high towers, so Dance Dragons is basically like Old Town versus Dragonstone, because Dragonstone's where Rhaenyra is. So that's a cool one. So we have the Eyrie here. And then that's going against Runestone. Okay, that's probably going to be an easy dub. But, got to have some easy dubs here and there. Seaguard against King's Landing. That's kind of a dud matchup as well. King's Landing's an interesting one, right? Because, like, it's not in a great state. Like, it's, it's pretty, like, impoverished and kind of disgusting for the most part. But it's back in the day, it used to be an awesome city. We'll see what you guys think about King's Landing. I'm really interested to see what you guys think. Casterly Rock. These long name castles are just making this look so ugly. The twins. Ooh, the Lannisters and the Freys against each other in round 2. Okay. Craycall Castle. We're just gonna put Craycall. And Summerhall. Okay, it didn't click on for some reason. Summerhall. God, we gotta shorten these names. Shadow. We're gonna put Shadow for this. We're not even gonna put the tower. We're just gonna put Shadow. And this one, we're just gonna put W Harbor. W Harbor. There we go. All right. So this is our round 2. I'm gonna look at chat real quick before I edit the round 2. Can't wait to see Harrenhal on the show next month. Yeah. That should be a really awesome one. If we should see it, but that should be really cool. Hugo, I did post a video at 7 and the stream started at 7, so yes, I did post a video and a stream at the same time. Yeah. We went some mad lad status on that. Ooh, that just made me think of a video for you. Species of wildlife in Westeros and Beyond the Wall. As for Moat Cailin, is there an interesting history on it? There is one. Can I tell you right now what it is? No. If somebody wants to give the history of Moat Cailin in the about Moat Cailin, go ahead. Are you voting based on current state of the castle? Young Wolf, you can vote on whatever you want. If you want it to be like, wherever, you can vote it on the golden times of it. I don't care. It's up to you. Here, let's do a little Google search of Moat Cailin. If I can actually bring it up on. Okay, it's just not popping up. Okay, there it is. Moat Cailin. Let's look at the history of Moat Cailin, lads. I don't want the Game of Thrones wiki. That shouldn't even be a thing anymore. I should just take that down. History. So, okay, here we go. Here's the backstory. According to myth, the Greenseers, the children of the forest, worked dark magic at Moat Cailin. From the children's tower, they said to use the hammer of the west on the neck to break Westeros in 2, separating the north from the south. In the same manner, they shattered the arm of Dorne. The children failed and only succeeded in flooding it, however, creating bogs and swamps. The Marsh Kings and the Crenning Men held Moat Cailin, sometimes with the assistance of the Barrow Kings, Red Kings, and Kings of Winter, against all attacks from the south. So, yeah, that is your brief history of Moat Cailin. All right. Now, let me go ahead and edit round 2 just to see which stuff I actually predicted wrong. Okay, for the most part, I actually predicted this right. Okay, I predicted the entire right side correctly, so I don't even got to type anything on that side. Starfall, yep. Winterfell, Dari, yep. Harbor, Harrenhal, yep. Blackhaven, Goldtown, yep. Okay, so one of the few ones I actually got wrong was the Barrowtown one. Gaines. And then Gaines. Alright. And then I also had Rook's Rest winning as well, but you guys decided to go for Brightwater. Oh, I actually had both of these wrong. I also thought the Crag would be cooler, but you guys also chose the Great White. Great Pike. Okay. And then Brightwater. All right. And then I had the right. Okay, so I'm putting the round 2 in as we speak. Let me go ahead and copy this. All right. So here is your round 2. Go ahead and vote on that, guys, whenever you're ready. And yeah. OC, I don't know how to say your name. Elite, I'm going to say your name's Elite for now because I don't know how to say I don't want to offend your first name, but the next poll for round 2 is just now up. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that might have to do a bit more digging on that. Yeah. It's a pretty, like, interesting one. I'm not someone that has the most amount of knowledge on, like, the Children of the Forest and that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It's one of my weak points when, like, looking at A Song of Ice and Fires. I don't know the greatest amount of history on, like, that era of stuff. But, yeah. But, yeah, guys, the poll is up. All right, let's just look through the round 2 matches. A tough one right off the bat. Storm's End or Starfall? That's a tough one. Highgarden or the Dreadfort is another interesting one because Highgarden is a cool fort, but I think the Dreadfort has a lot more intrigue to it, so I think that's an interesting one. I think Winterfell and Dari, I think Winterfell is probably going to win that easily. The Arbor versus Harrenhal. I mean, you have one of the, like, best, like, port cities, I guess, versus one of the largest, or the largest castle ever. So, another interesting one there for you guys. Blackhaven and Goldtown. I think Goldtown's probably going to take it. Another one of those, like, really important, like, not forts, port cities or castles. Pike and then Clegane's Keep's another one. I don't know which one you guys are going to choose on that one. Probably, for me, I'd probably pick Pike, but, you know, another one. Brightwater versus Great White. It's pretty meh one, to be completely honest. And then Ashmark Hornhill. Are the Tarleys going to pull through or not? We'll see. Lannisport versus Sunspear. So you got a little bit of a Lannister Martell matchup there. River Run versus Carhold. Another interesting one. My favorite of the entire round, Dragonstone versus Old Town. I'm interested to see what you guys think on that one because that's a really awesome one because Old Town has a lot of cool lore behind it as well. And then you have the Eyrie, Runestone, Seaguard, King's Landing, Casterly Rock, and the Twins, Craycall and Summerhall, and then also the Shadow Tower versus White Harbor. Starfall for the win. All right, Matthew. We'll see. Oh no. Yeah, definitely Highgarden would be better than the Dreadfort in war. I'm saying, like, see, I get what you're saying. Like in a wartime, yes. I meant that more as I think the Dreadfort is a more intriguing castle for, like, the intrigue of it. Like, its history, not as much for, like, in war. Like, in war, Highgarden's way better. 100%. In my opinion, anyway. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know. I'm going to take a little sneak peek of responses just because I'm curious. Okay. All right. All I'm going to say, guys, if you don't have your votes in, I will get your votes in. Some of these are real close. Like, I mean real close. So if you want one of these to win, you really got to get it in there. Old Town Incest Keep. hey, you know, the Targaryens did what the Targaryens did, you know? It wasn't right, but you know. Aussie Elite, you were one of those guys. You're one of those guys that was leading the rebellion, okay? When Maegor came into power, he was one of those lads. He was one of those lads. You were one of those lads. I know you were. That was, leading the rebellion. Okay, you were probably one of the guys sieging Old Town. You were probably the leader. Okay? If you guys don't know, during the beginning of Jaehaerys' reign, there were Old Town was basically under siege, and it was led by a religious person, a Septon. They call him the High Septon for the rebellion, I guess. And he ended up not having a good end. So Old Town Giga Chad, power of knowledge. They might be knowledgeable, but they don't like that magic. Probably why they killed the dragons. Or helped, anyway. They didn't actually kill them, but they helped it. They helped move along so that the Targaryens killed each other. They did do that. Even though the Targaryens really didn't have any problems killing each other in the past, because, yeah, after Aegon, they just, they liked killing each other. But, I don't know. What do we know about Clegane Keep? Nothing, I would guess. Hugo, personally, I just know the Mountain lives there, the Hound lived there. I'll look up a Google search for you guys. We'll go into depth about Clegane Keep. Let's see if there's any cool history factoids about it. Dude, why does the Game of Thrones wiki come up before the A Song of Ice and Fire one does? What is the Game of Thrones one going to tell me about Clegane Keep? Nothing. It was granted by the first Clegane Knight, who had been Kennel Master at Casterly Rock and saved Lord Titus Lannister from a lion attack. Yeah, no, that's pretty much all we know. It's not. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's got the most amount of background knowledge on it. Yeah. There's not much. It's a pretty relatively new kind of area, but. All right. The Maesters will pull up some dark magic from some deep caverns. That's true. Why did they dislike the dragons? So, I think kind of how maybe we were in real life too, is that the Maesters wanted everything to be quantified, as in science, and the dragons just kind of went against that because they were magical creatures. And it also said that magic was an all-time high when dragons were in the world. So I think for the Maesters, they wanted to be able to control kind of the world, or they didn't want as many random elements like magic in the world. And I think that's a big part of it. But yeah, we also see similar things with the Faceless Men, right? It's heavily hinted at that they were involved in bringing down Valyria. So it's just similar to that kind of concept where the dragons kind of ruled over everything, and you can't really you can't fight against the dragons. Aegon is a weird one because Aegon the Conqueror comes over. He kind of conquers all of Westeros, or not all of it. He didn't conquer Dorne, but Aegon had relative peace after the Dornish Rebellion, when he tried to invade Dorne. And then after that, there was a lot of peace because people were more or less afraid to go against the dragons, right? If you look at a lot of the Targaryen rebellions or things that go on, right? A lot of the time, the rebellions were because of other Targaryens, saying that they should be the ruler. It wasn't actually factions just going against the Targaryens in general because of the dragons. There was just no way of killing them other than dragons killing other dragons for the most part. And I think it's one thing that kind of led to Egg, as we were talking about earlier, what happens at Summerhall, because there was a lot of people that thought that they could go against the Targaryen house, and then the Targaryens didn't have the dragons to kind of reinforce themselves anymore. So I think that was a big idea. Yeah, agreed, Elite, agreed. The Inn at the Crossroads is the safest building in all of Westeros. War raging all around it, still in its business. That's determination. That's true. The Inn at the Crossroads is just legendary. BTW, what house does Cersei Baratheon? Because I kind of find it funny that Robert got Cersei and Renly Wait, the funny that Robert got Cersei and Renly got Marjorie and Stannis got Cersei. Were they married before or after Bobby's rebellion? So Cersei is part of House Florent. And then I think they were married before the rebellion. Because like Stannis talks about how like he and his wife, which would have been Cersei, were kind of like starving in Storm's End. So they were married before. So it actually would make a bit more sense because Stannis was the second Baratheon. But yeah. Yes, like one argument that dragons being legitimate. Yeah. House Florent is a way to stick it to the Tyrells after their rebellion. Fair enough. Therefore, an alliance between Dany and Aegon will legitimize his claim further in truthfulness. Yeah. Well, I think that's completely true because not only I think will Fagon be able to claim the Iron Throne even if he's fake just by conquest, right? If we look at Robert Baratheon, right? Robert Baratheon is someone who had relative peace during his reign besides the Greyjoy Rebellion. But yeah, no, like nobody was going to go against Robert Baratheon because he was feared. Like he was loved, true, but he was also feared. Yeah. Maybe it was Quincy. Let me look it up. I always get confused with the show and the books all the time, so let me look. Stannis and we'll see. When did they get married? Yeah, okay, yeah, you guys are right. So Stannis got married after because he was the Lord of Dragonstone at the time. So, yeah, the biggest thing I think with that, as people have pointed out in the comments, is that House Florent actually has a lot more blood ties or whatever to House Gardner, which was the like major house like in control of the Reach before Aegon's conquest. So it was kind of Robert Baratheon's way of just like kind of fucking them over basically. But yeah, Quincy, you were completely correct on that. In order to get to the song before the Gatwick, you need to just write a song. Yeah, but it's like, I know, Hugo. I know. I'm just lazy, and I would like appreciate it if just the Song of Ice and Fire wiki came up because like the Game of Thrones wiki, like, why is it even a thing? Like it's like it's not needed. A claimant at Targ without a Targ is just a man, just a fish. That is correct. I'm also gonna probably reveal the next round at like 750 maybe. I think that's a good spot. But yeah. I think for me, Fagon personally I think he's going to do he's going to basically be on it for two reasons on the throne that people are going to be fine with his legitimacy. Is one, he took it by force, more or less. And two, I think people will be willing to accept that he's a Targaryen until Daenerys comes over and then she starts saying, okay, he's not and all that. I just love how Robert and his cousins and his brothers are cousins with Dany and Rhaegar. Yeah, it's really interesting because you would think so. Out of the three, like or I guess two houses that were the closest with the Targaryens throughout the entire history, it was always the Velaryons and the Baratheons. The Baratheons are always from the beginning of the Aegon's conquest because of them being friends and like half brothers or whatever. But yeah, I think that is really interesting that the house that actually ends up bringing down the Targaryens is one of their closest allies and are actually related to them. It's kind of like the Blackfires in a way, but just not as like close in blood. Song of Ice and Fire castles at 4 a.m. Of course. It's always Song of Ice and Fire time. Always. Even when you're sleeping, you just gotta dream about it. But yeah. I have so many tabs open right now. It's unbelievable. All right. So, again, everybody get your votes in if you are going to vote. I'm going to be doing the revealing of round 2 very soon. Yeah, the history of Storm's End is actually really cool. I love how we get a lot of that history with the Renly's Peach chapter, but yeah. In the show, Cersei Baratheon is the only character that rivaled Lysa Tully in an absolute awful person contest. Not sure who I like less. It's a tough matchup. I would say I like Lysa less just because she screwed over Robb, but Cersei's also pretty. God, she's just bad. She's just not. Yeah, she's not it. Like Stannis, you know how much happier Stannis could have been if a couple things happened differently. Like his parents didn't die in front of him. He marries just this woman that basically has a mustache. He actually gets Storm's End instead of Dragonstone. Like, you think about how much happier his life could have been. But no. And he wouldn't be the Stannis we love today. That is kind of funny, Hugo. That is kind of funny. Or if Edric was like legitimized, he would be, but that probably won't happen. Well, it could happen by the end. I think it actually is likely it could happen by the end, but for right now, no. Also, I want to give you guys a massive shout out. Thank you for all the support on yesterday's video. That video has been actually doing really well for the channel. Just looking at like its analytics and stuff. It's did for like the videos I've done in like the last 2 weeks. It's probably been like one of the better ones. How are they related? So, Aussie, basically, there's just a lot of like scenarios where the Targaryens and like Baratheons were actually like wedded together, and then also like when Aegon came over, like the Baratheons were related to him as well. They were like, I think it was like a bastard brother or something like that. It was something weird like that, or I don't remember what it was. It was something weird. Let me look at Aegon. I'm gonna look at the like Baratheon like history real quick. I know there was some like relation, but I was Baratheon. So it is actually his rumored half brother, or bastard half brother. It's not actually confirmed, but all right. Let's reveal round 2. Let's see what you guys chose. I got a little bit of a sneak peek of it, but yeah. So I guess I'll start on the right side because when I was doing this, I had actually typed the right side first. So let's do that first. We've got Sunspear beating Lannisport and Riverrun beating Carhold. So let's do Sunspear. That was terrible. Riverrun. And then we'll... Actually, I'll just highlight all the ones on the right first, and then we'll cross out. So, okay, we're going to do a poll. We're going to have to do a poll real quick. I'm going to do this real quick as well. Dragonstone and Old Town are the exact same. So, I'm going to have to do a poll here. Dragonstone or Old Town? Hold on, give me a second. All right, guys, I'm putting a poll in for just this match. Make sure you vote on that, because that will decide who ends up winning the Dragonstone Old Town match. Stannis marrying Celis didn't really help him in the war. I bet Stannis in his deepest thoughts was thinking, damn, why does Robert hate me? Taking away Storm's End, marrying me to a heartless shrew. Yeah, Stannis really got a bad draw. I mean, especially because they were married after. I always, like, for some reason, well, it's probably because of the show, but I always, like, thought, like, you know, why? Like, that's such a bad match, especially after, because it's like, Stannis is like literally like royalty at this point. Like, he could have gotten so many better matches, and not only did he get a house that's kind of minor, really, in stature, he also got a wife that was pretty not great. So he just kind of got screwed over in multiple ways there. Yes, that also is a rumor, Hugo. We're not actually sure about that. I had to do Dragonstone. The trailer for House of the Dragons made it look amazing. It does look amazing, I will say. It really does look good. It looks way better than it ever did in Game of Thrones, which is something I'm really excited about. Okay, well, I'm going to let that poll go for a while. I'll get back to that at the end of this round. King's Landing won, and then also Casterly Rock won. I don't think you guys are really surprised by that, but that is who ended up winning. Who do we have next? So, Summerhall and White Harbor also won pretty convincingly. All right, then moving over to the other side, we have Storm's End and also Highgarden won pretty easily. I'm a little surprised these ones were not closer, I guess. But it makes sense. Storm's End's a really cool castle. Has a really awesome backstory. And, you know, it's just more impactful than Starfall in general. But Starfall is also a really cool castle. Winterfell and Harrenhal also won. Ooh, we're going to see Winterfell versus Harrenhal. That's a tough match. And Highgarden Storm's End's a good one. All right. And we have Goldtown and then also Pike. So Goldtown, then Pike. Then you guys chose for the last ones, we have Brightwater and Hornhill. All right, so I'm going to look at the chat right now. Whichever is winning is who is going to make it through. Old Town is going to make it through. Damn, my favorite of all of these castles did not make it past round 2. That's a feels bad, but you can't always have them. Actually, you know what? I've taken 2 L's back-to-back on these streams. The Targaryens were my favorite house. They did not do too hot in the last stream, and now Dragonstone's not doing so hot. Not what you like to see, guys. Not what you like to see. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this poll as well. Okay. Free company tier list? Maybe, maybe. Aenor came over with his wives. Maybe Baratheons come from one of them. Possibly. Winterfell has the greatest heating feature as well as durability. That is true. New video. Stannis' marriage. You'll love to see that, Matthew. You'll love to see that. That's the ideas we love to see. See, this is why streaming's so good for my, like, creative juices, because you guys do it. F for Dragonstone. Yep. Yeah, Dragonstone have Gargoyle. That's classy in a gothic sort of way. That's correct. I would love to see some tier lists on this channel. All right. You know what? All right. I'll print that on this. I'll print that too. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I'll see. It depends how much work I have to do into actually making like the actual images for the tier list, but I'd be down. We'll see. All right. Let me add some text so you all can see what the matchups are going to. Okay. Text. Where'd you go? All right. Storm. So we're gonna start. We gotta really start shortening these names because like they're just it's getting a little too messy. We're gonna put high. We're just gonna put high for this. It's either high or storm. Which one do you want? This one's just gonna be winter. And then we're gonna put Heron for this one. And then we're just gonna put Goal for this one. One of the few ones that actually is gonna get shortened is Pike. There we go. Good job, Pike, having a short name. You know what? I want Pike to win now, just because Pike has a short name. Bright. And then we'll do this one's kind of shorter. I guess we'll just go with it. It'll be fine. Hornhill. I could have just done Horn. This one we're just gonna go with Sun. And then River. This is gonna look so weird when people come back to this and they're like, wait a minute. It's just River? That's it? That's the castle name is River? This one's gonna be called Old. There you go. We got Old. You know what? The Eerie and Pike, they're my champions for who I want to win. king. And then this one's going to be rock. This is great. We're getting all the like elements right now. It's not water, but it's like, you got river, you got rock. Great. Okay, this one's going to be summer, I guess. And then we'll just make this one harbor. We'll just take out the W harbor. It'll just be harbor. Okay, these are your round 3 matchups. Let me know, guys. Who do you think is going to win? I'm just, you know. Hold on. Any thoughts on patch face theories from Alt-Shift-X? I'll be honest, I haven't seen his patch face video in a long time. I remember watching it, and I think I watched it when I did some of my research on my own patch face video. But I do think patch face has some sort of powers, especially from the Drowned God. I think he could be like a prophet of like the Drowned God. And I also think possibly when Shireen gets burned in Winds of Winter, I think Patchface could possibly be the one that also helps start the plague of grayscale. That could be a possibility. Not sure. That's my kind of my mini thoughts on Patchface. That would probably bring more people as well. It's true. It probably would. People love tier lists. Only need the little icon you place on the tier list. No, I know. I mean, like, yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, it depends on like what kind of tier list I'm doing. If I'm doing a character tier list, it's a lot of icons. I'd say that Eerie, as described in the book, is easily the coolest castle in all fiction. I would agree with you. I think it's pretty cool, Leonardo. Personally, I'm still a Dragonstone boy, but I would agree. Well, I would never vote against Ty. That's true. All in all, Harrenhal or Storm's End. All right. You know what's funny, Elite, that you chose both those? Both of those are the castles that, like, they take on new rulers after Aegon's conquest. I think that's kind of funny. Rob's king in the north, Winterfell is king of the castles, and the others are dirty assholes. You know what? Fair enough. All right. Let me start making round 3, because the round 2 I had kind of like pre-made. But I didn't want to go overboard and trying to pre-make round 3, because then it would just get messy. So round 3 shouldn't take as long anyway, because there's not as many like to go through, but on the actual thing, I'll actually type them out, so like you guys know them more off of just, it's just not high. You know, you're not voting for just high, but actually, you know what? I'll have like the question, right, where it says like which one or like or. I'll have it be the full name, and then I'll type the like mini ones. Winterfell, Harrenhal, Winter. And then, sorry, Mike. Also, might be getting a new mic in the future. Not sure. I'm not sure yet. Because I don't know. I think this is a good mic to start out on. But this mic's so weird. Like, if OBS ever resets or something, this mic just, like, I can put the exact same settings back on it, and it'll sound really bad. Like, I don't know. It's weird. Brightwater. Cornhill. That's, okay, that's another thing. I said, like, not YouTube, thumbnails is my least favorite part of, like, making videos. It's not. Trying to get your microphone settings to be good just is so annoying. Like, and then you think you have it good, and you got to record all your videos for the week, and it's just bad. And you're like, well, shit, do I re-record all these videos, or do I just run with it and just say, the video quality's not going to be good this week? I don't know. It's just tough. It's rough. Audio is always the biggest struggle. Even when especially when I ran a gaming channel, that was terrible. It was genuinely terrible trying to do audio. Eerie. And then we got King's Landing. Or, Casterly. I didn't even see that. Casterly Rock or King's Landing. That's a tough one. I don't know which one you guys are gonna pick for that one, but that's a yikes. King, okay. Kind of switched up the options there, so make sure you choose the right one for King's Landing and Casterly Rock, because I accidentally switched like the order in which I gave you the options for some reason. Summerhall, White Harbor. Okay. All of those should be good to go. Let me change the settings so you guys can only vote once. We don't want that fiasco again. And then copy this. Boop. Boop. And then there you guys go. So there you go. That is for round 3. What castle's origin story do you think is the best? I think Storm's End probably. That's tough because like I would say Storm's End has a really good one. But I know it's more basic, but I do like King's Landing, how it originated, where it's like Aegon kind of had his conquest, right? And he landed on actual mainland Westeros. There was the 3 hills, and kind of that's where he, started the Aegon fort. And then it kind of just grew as a, like, it just built, around it. And then eventually they took down the Aegon fort, and then Maegor ended up finishing what ended up becoming King's Landing and Maegor's Holdfast and all that. So I really like King's Landings, kind of thing. Winterfell was built by giants. How can origin story get better than that? And goblins don't say Dragonstone is. No. It's not Dragonstone, Matthew. It's definitely not Dragonstone. I just love Dragonstone, but no, the origin is not. I think King's Landing's cool. Winterfell is cool too. It's by giants, but I like one that's more based in like reality and stuff. I don't know. I just like King's Landings. I like the simplicity of King's Landing, and I just think it's really cool the way it kind of happened. Let me know. What are your guys's? Sorry, I was looking at like stream and stuff. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also, I'm interested to see what you guys think. I think Winterfell versus Harrenhal is gonna be a rough one for you guys. I think that's gonna be rough, cause like I like both of the castles, and like they both have awesome backstories. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. I want to take a little sneak peek. I'm a little. I just want to see so far what you guys think. Okay. Okay. All right. There's a lot of close ones in this one actually. Yeah, there's a lot of close ones on this one, but we'll see. I wonder if we will see any new castles appear in Winds. I think he had mentioned a POV happening at Highgarden at some point. That'd be really cool if we actually did get to see actually see Highgarden at some point. That'd be really cool. It's one of the few main like castles we actually haven't been to, so that'd be a cool one. I think we probably will at some point. I just think it's bound to happen. I think it just makes sense. I feel like the Reach is representing summer and chilling. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of summer though. Like, I don't know how it is where you live, Elite, but it's legitimately like 100 degrees. Like, it's felt like over 100 degrees every day this week. And I live in like the middle of the United States. So it's not like I live like in the southern parts where it's supposed to be more like hot. It's just genuinely feels terrible outside. The wrestling match for Barrett Island sounds pretty iconic, and also the Wolf's Den. Yeah, I could see it. Like, imagine being a man at arms or just feasting in the warmth and being mad at the Southerners. That's true. That's true. All right, I'm probably how many people are on the stream? I think let me check. I haven't checked the whole stream, but okay, 10. We have 10 votes. Let's go ahead and we'll just do the next round then. So round 10's results, or not round 10. Jesus Christ, we had 10 rounds. Storm's End ended up beating Highgarden. Winterfell also ended up beating Harrenhal. It actually wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be, but Storm's End continues on. Winterfell continues on. They will play each other in the next round. Goldtown versus Pike. I'm assuming Pike won. Yeah, Pike won. And then Hornhill beat Brightwater. So Pike. And then also Hornhill. And then on the right side of the bracket, we have River Run and also the Erie winning the first two. So River Run and then the Erie. Get fucked, Old Town. Nobody likes you. That's what happens when you take out Dragonstone. you get just destroyed. King's Landing and then also Summerhall won as well. Ooh, interesting matches here. We got some interesting ones. Let's draw out the rest of these. Rip Sunspear, Rip Old Town, Rip Casterly Rock, and Rip White Harbor. This side we got Rip to Brightwater, Goldtown, Harrenhal, and also High. Just High. That's the castle's name. It's just High. Let's put in the text real quick. Orm. And then that is going to be playing Winterfell. I think that's going to be an interesting one for you guys. I think that one's even going to be a better matchup for both of those in the last rounds, where Pike versus Hornhill, I guess, is another interesting one. I'm not sure who you guys are going to pick for that one either. We're going to put Horn for this one instead. We're not putting the Hornhill. We're just going to put Horn. River Run. So we have the Tully girls going against each other, basically. We've got Catelyn versus Lysa. Two of the, I would say, my least favorite characters in the entire book series. Catelyn is at least interesting, and she's, like, genuinely interesting to read. I just don't like her. But Lysa is just, ugh. All right, we now have our top 8. Man, I love her. However, my room did reach 30 degrees Celsius the other day. You hate to see that. Almost got cooked on the spot until I went to the sea. Okay, this is something I'm never going to understand. Okay, so us in America, right? We do Fahrenheit. But why? The rest of the world does Celsius. I just don't understand why. Like, I don't understand. It's the same thing with, like, metric stuff. Like, we don't use metric. It's just... America is just... Some things I just don't understand. Like, why do we gotta be, like... Oh, we're gonna be so unique. We're gonna have a different, like, temperature system. And... Why? Like, I just don't understand. If you're American and you disagree with me on that, let me know why. Because I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. All right. This is round 4. You have Storm's End or Winterfell. Storm. And then we got Pike. Horn. Yeah, I should just spell. Yeah, we're gonna spell that out. Just if somebody needs to know. I mean, if they're yeah. Okay, other side. Run versus Fury. And then the last one we have on the right is going to be King's Landing and Summerhall. All right. Fix the settings real quick once again. Limit to 1 response. And let's send this on out to you guys. Okay. Here we go. This is your round 4. Probably one of the most important rounds. So, yeah. We did things just to be opposite of everyone else, even races. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. We're just, I don't know. We're just weird. I do save time not putting extra U's everywhere, but I can get behind on the conversion thing. Yeah. What the hell is a kilometer? Baldy goes down. Because America, LOL. That, you know what, Matthew? That's fair. We just did have 4th of July. Oh, by the way, that's the reason I didn't end up streaming on Monday. Was because it was 4th of July and I was doing stuff with family and friends. So, yeah. Didn't have time. So I pushed it to Wednesday. So, by the way, regardless, when I do streams, they're almost always going to be either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Mostly Monday and Wednesday. If I'm extremely busy, maybe Friday, but yeah, it should be usually Monday or Wednesday. And I want it to be just Monday, but I keep having things doing the last 2 weeks, so yeah. Of course we're talking Thrones, Robert. You can see which like castles we have is the best. Hold on, let me go on OBS. Am I blocking anything? We're kind of getting to the end. Okay, I'm gonna move the face cam. Okay, we're gonna move this. We're here. We're gonna move chat. Oh. There we go. So now we're not blocking any of like the middle stuff going on right now. So that's kind of why I did that. Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. I swear, when people want to get like in contact with me or something on Snapchat or something, they always do it when I'm streaming. And I'm just like, can't be bothered. But I feel like Summerhall won't last this round. Yeah, Summerhall. I love Summerhall and all, but I don't think it's gonna survive this round, to be honest. I don't think it's looking the best for Summerhall, personally. Only left because are you trying to say recognition? Is that what you're trying to say, Elite? Tell that to King's Landing in season 8. What King's Landing, dude? Daenerys was literally just pummeling King's Landing for like 50 minutes. And you're telling me there's a King's Landing still left? Like, Aegon, like, destroyed Harrenhal. Like, didn't destroy it, but, like, went ham on Harrenhal for just a little bit of time. That thing was smoked. Like, dude, there shouldn't have even been a King's Landing left in the last episode. Oh, God. Shocked Summerhall is still around. Never been seen in any of the books. Only talked about it a few times. Well, I think the lore of Summerhall kind of carried it for a while. And then if you even look at the bracket, it had a pretty soft bracket. There wasn't a lot of competition down there in the bottom right. So, yeah. I think that is why it got so far. But, you know. I can't hate on it too much, though. I do like think Summerhall is really cool. But it's not for the castle. It's because of what happened there that I think makes it intriguing. So, yeah. I don't know when I'm going to... Let's end off this round 4 at 8:20. And then I think the rest of the matches we're going to use YouTube poll. Just so I don't have to create. I can give you guys a doc. We can just do it on here. And there's only going to be 2 matches left, I think. Or there'll be 2 matches the next round and then 1 match for the final. Let me know. Do you guys want me to do a loser bracket for this bracket? Because I didn't end up doing one for the houses because I thought it would have gone the same way regardless. I just didn't feel like we should do it again because I felt like it was going to go the same way regardless. And it was one of those things where like even the final wasn't that close. So I just felt like it would have just been doing the same stream twice. So I just kind of wanted to switch it up. This one I'm not sure how I feel about it because some matches have been really close. Like Dragonstone and Old Town was really close. King's Landing and Castle Rock was really close. So how would that go if they were different? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be honest. If I'm going to give you my personal opinion for who I think should win now, I think I'd probably go with whoever wins Winterfell and Storm's End, I think is going to be on the left. I think on the right, I'd be happy with either King's Landing or River Run. I think both of those are good. But then out of those 4, I have no idea. Those are probably, I don't know. Those 4 are all really great. In my opinion, anyway. Yeah, I get you on that, Elite. I 100% get you on that. I think a lot of these, like some of these, and that's the harder part about doing castles compared to like a characters or houses. Those are a lot more well known. Doing castles is like much harder when you don't know a lot of them. I wonder if Old Town will be the new capital if King's Landing is destroyed. Probably. I mean, it makes sense because the thing is, that's originally where Aegon was going to actually have like the capital, but he decided to make it kind of like Aegon's fort and all that and stuff. And then while it was kind of like building, like he held court kind of in Dragonstone. So I could see that. No loser? Okay. All right. All right, Jim. All right. All right, 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to reveal who is going to make it to our Final Four. Is that what it's called in basketball? Like the tournaments that do Final Four? I think so. It's Elite 8. I think it's like Sweet 16. I don't think there's one for 32. And then like Top 2 is just Final. It's weird that I know that stuff just because I haven't watched basketball. Like I haven't watched like the March Madness basketball tournament and like since high school, which for me it was like 5 years ago or something like that. Fair enough, Elite. Fair enough. Also, trying to think. What was I going to say there? Oh, new character bracket, but with characters not in the show. That's a good idea in theory, Young Wolf. But there would be so many characters that people would just not give a shit about. Like, yes, there's a decent amount of characters that are not in the show that are in the books. But, like, there's so many characters. Like the first 2 rounds of that would be, like... Unless I did... So, the only way I could see myself doing that is if I made it a 32-person bracket instead of 64. Because there's just so many characters that, like, people would not give a shit about. But, I don't know. I've been thinking of doing, like, maybe we should do, like, instead of... We could do, like, a tier list. We could do, like, a tier list like what was suggested earlier. We could do, like, a tier list kind of stream. Instead of doing a video, just do, like, a stream. Yeah. See, that's my thing, Elite. Is like there's only like so many characters that aren't even like because the thing is the show there's a lot of things where they minimize a lot of like our major like they'll like how what am I trying to say? They like minimize the role that those played in the books. Also there'd be like Ariane, I guess, would be in there. Quentin would be in there. I'm trying to like legitimately rationalize and thinking if I could even do that bracket. Lady Stoneheart, because I would say she's different than Catelyn, so I would just put her in there. Yeah, you could vote the tier. And that would be a lot easier on me because what I would do is like once we got to a character, I would basically just put them like I would just put a poll in the YouTube chat. Val, yeah, Val would be in there. Adam Marbrand would be in there. Actually, I don't know. Is he in the show? I don't think so. And if he is, he's like not an important character in the show. Who's some other ones? I'm trying to think of some. Oh yeah, a bunch of Marine characters. The Green Grace wasn't in the show. Strong Belwis wasn't in the show. Wyman, that's a good one. Wyman was not in the show either. That's kind of surprising he wasn't in the show. I don't know. I feel like that would have been a good character for the show. Hello, the Tales of Elbeck. How are you? How's life? We are just about to reveal Maya Stone. That's another one. We are just about to reveal this. What am I trying to say? This round. So if you wanted to get your vote in real quick, Tails, do that. But I'm about to release that round. I'm related to Game of Thrones. Have you read the Witcher book or plan to? I have never actually read the Witcher book. I haven't watched the show either. So I literally have not seen either. I have not played the video game. I have like no recollection of The Witcher at all. But I would be down to read it. Do you guys think it's good? I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't gotten to it. I have just so many things I'm trying to work on. Like, I'm trying to do like one Lord of the Rings video every week too, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't have the time. I don't know. Like, I could possibly, but it's like, I don't know. I like the tier list live video. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea, Jim. I think we might test it out either next week or may do something else. I don't know. I like the brackets, but you know, Lothar Brune, that's a good one. Ronda Royce, Wex, yeah, those are actually some really good ones. Missandei, she is 10 in the books. Yeah, it's crazy how much they aged up the characters in the show. Which I mean, it makes sense for the show because of what is being shown on TV. Like, you can't, you know, like, it's really awkward if you had Daenerys really young and she's basically getting raped on the show. Like, or just don't show it. I mean, but I felt like this is my way of always explaining a lot of the sex scenes in the earlier seasons for people that are not used to that or they don't see it. Those scenes are kind of important to Daenerys' character because they show her kind of growing through that and getting stronger, and it impacts her character later on with how she doesn't take shit from people anymore and stuff like that. So I think that is a really good idea. But the Night's King, that's a good one. More Lord of the Rings is always a good choice. Yeah. I want to do a video talking about the Misty Mountains, like how important they are to the story because of the geography, like, of Middle Earth, which is something really clever that Tolkien did. All right, let's get into this round. I'm going to do a little refresh. Winterfell and Pike win on the left side. So Storm's End does not win. I think this is like the first stream where we have not seen like a Baratheon thing make it to the final. So that's pretty cool. I like to see some variety. I don't like to see the Baratheons always winning. On the right side, we have the Eyrie and King's Landing winning. Okay, so I actually wanted River Run to win that side, so that's unfortunate. But we have King's Landing and then also the Eyrie winning on the right. So let's type these in. So we've got Eyrie. And then these, there's not going to be like a Google Forms. I'm just going to go ahead and put these into the YouTube poll, and we'll let it go for a couple minutes, and then we'll kind of figure it all out. I think Pike also kind of got blessed with kind of a like an easy bracket. I think like the lower left bracket was kind of an easier one. But yeah. So this is your final four. Harry the that's another. You got a lot of good ones. Young Wolf, Jane Poole, Sheesh. I'm super late. Hey, Jaharis, it's fine. It's fine. You made it for the top four. Danny consents in the books after Drogon. Yeah. That is the thing. With the books, it is slightly different. Because in the books, it's like Drogo kind of just like sits there with her and I guess tries to make her comfortable, and then he won't like, you know, like go force his way on her. But the show went a different route, which is, I didn't think about it that way either. Like, I don't know why the show, I guess, did it that way, but I don't know. Young Griff, Aegon, yep. That was Jedrick showing the Florence, Willis, and gone. I wouldn't recommend the show. The Witcher. I thought you were talking about Game of Thrones. I was like, okay, The Witch. So okay, all right. Victorian. The books aren't categorically technically, so if you want an order list, I'll tell. Okay, all right. Maybe Matthew, maybe in the future. I don't have enough time right now. What about Dragonstone? So Dragonstone didn't do so hot. It got killed by Old Town, which again is very sad because Dragonstone was who I would have picked to win this, but didn't make it. But yeah. Eyrie / the Winterfell, okay. Why do you think there are so few Starks? Well, Jaharis, I mean, it makes sense because if you look at Robert's Rebellion, right? Ned's father gets killed off. His older brother gets killed off. His sister gets killed off. So the only like Starks left at that point was Ned, and then also Benjen. And then Benjen ends up going to the Wall, probably because he felt guilty about the Night of the Laughing Tree stuff, which is how Rhaegar and Lyanna probably got introduced. So that leaves Ned, and then you also had Little Rob with Catelyn. So that was like your main ones that people knew of. There was also Jon. Possibly he's a Stark. We don't know yet, so I'm not going to dive into that, but that's why there's so few. Dany was kind of forced. She was afraid of her. Yes. Dany was definitely forced into the relationship, but it just happens differently in the show and the book because, like, the show, Drogo basically rapes her. Like, yeah. And in the books, it's a bit different. The books, it's a lot more, like, Drogo doesn't want to do that, and he kind of waits until, like, Daenerys kind of says yes or whatever at the end of the chapter. I just want to point out King's Landing is a city, not a castle, so all of you who voted for King's Landing, well, that's not actually true because King's Landing does, like, have, like, walls and stuff like that. I mean, I know it's, like, Maegor's Holdfast is technically the more castle of King's Landing, but, Stop being technical, Matthew. Just accept it. Old Town isn't a castle. Yeah, I know Tales of Elbeck, but I think I wanted it to be like people knew about it a bit more. Like, a lot of people wouldn't, like, I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of, some of these, like, they're not exactly castles, but it's like, they're just cool. Like Pike, right? Pike is not a castle. Pike is an island that the castle's on, which I think is really weird for me. They have been a great house for thousands of years though. But yes, they have, and I'm not saying they're not a great house. It's just they had the unfortunate timing that, like, they had a pretty big family. Like, it was a decently big sized family. It's just a lot of them died in Robert's Rebellion. I agree with you, by the way, Tales of Elbeck. That's who I would also be voting for. Why did I not even put the poll? I'm just sitting here just talking. Okay, so let's put a poll in. This is going to be for the left side. We are going to do Winterfell or Pike. I think I know you guys are going to choose for this one already, but we got to do it anyway. I think Pike just got blessed with that really good lower bracket. So, all right. Who do you guys have for this? Yeah, the Red Keep, yes, is technically the name. Yeah. I don't know why I was saying Maegor's Holdfast. That's the inner part of the Red Keep, but whatever. It's close. It's close. 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 I'm a little hungry right now. I've only eaten about half of my calories for the day, and I'm hungry. But yeah, it is the Red Keep. Okay, not a single poet person has voted for Pike, so I think we're gonna know where this one's going, but I'm gonna let it stay there for a while. Does anyone not consent to Winterfell getting the dub? Does anyone not consent? Okay. Over half the people in the stream have gone for Winterfell. So Winterfell is going to be the winner. Winterfell moves on. Oh, that was a terrible highlight. Oh well. Pike is no more, so we're going to have Winterfell versus whoever makes it out of the right side, which I am interested to see. We're going to have the Eyrie versus King's Landing or the Red Keep. So, King's Landing, Eyrie. Oh. All right. This is the poll to see who makes it to the final. Decide now who you would like to see go up against Winterfell. Ooh, okay. So far we're off to a 60% Eerie vote. Well, that is true to Harris, but like they also do have like other blood ties, like the Karstarks and stuff. But yeah, I guess I see what you're saying, but like my thing is like they were prone to if Robert's Rebellion didn't happen, they would have had a huge family. Like they would have definitely grown in major size. But I don't know. Vote the Red Keep. The Red Keep's not doing so hot. Why? Like what are the odds Ned has no cousins? I don't know, man. Maybe it's a conspiracy. Maybe the Freys were plotting to bring them down the whole time. Stairs. I would let the whole tribe fuck you, all 40,000 and their horses, if that's what it's like. Oh my god. Imagine that's why I made the alert for like donations and stuff. Oh my. Oh my. Imagine. Uh Tails, it's not looking so good. I really wanted the King's Landing to win, but it's not looking so good. How many people are in the stream? I might have to just cut the stream off now. We have 12 people in the stream. How many people have voted? 10. Well, there's not even enough people to sway the vote, so the Eerie has beaten King's Landing. I don't know what possessed you mad lads to do that, but we have Winterfell versus the Eerie in the final. You hate to see that. You hate to see that. All right, the poll is being ended. And this will be the final. This will be for what decides everything. You guys have Winterfell or the Eerie? All right, the final poll, or the final, I guess, thing, the final is being put in the chat right now. You guys can decide who is the winner. Okay, well, Jaehaerys. There really wasn't relative peace for 300 years. I'll say that. Like, if you look at Aegon's conquest, after Aegon like dies, right? There was a civil war, right? Now, to be fair, the Starks weren't involved in it much, but there was a civil war with Maegor and first Aegon, and then also like Jaehaerys, but Maegor kind of dies. And then we have a little bit of relative peace with Jaehaerys. Well, not relative, pretty good peace Jaehaerys for about 50-ish years. And then we have Viserys takes over, and then we have the bloodiest conflict probably until the main story, or maybe Robert's Rebellion, with Dance of Dragons. And then after that, we have like ton of Blackfire rebellions as well. So I don't know if I'd say relative peace, but the Starks weren't always in it, is what I guess is what you're saying. Only one has a moon door. Dude, this is surprising me. I did not think the Eerie was going to do this well. The Eerie is a really cool castle, but I did not think you guys were going to like it this much. All right, I'm learning something new. Yeah, that's fair. The North did have relative. Okay, so the North specifically, yeah, was probably had relative peace. What about those crypts, man? Close. It's close. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, it's 50-50 right now with 10 votes. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is the closest final we've ever had. There are 11 concurrent viewers right now, my YouTube studio is saying. So whoever is in the stream that has not voted, you are the deciding vote on who is going to win. And I'm going to let this go till about 8:40. If no one has decided by 8:40, we are going to go into a... Oh, there's the 11th vote. The 11th vote has been cast. The 11th vote has been cast, but there are 13 people in here. There's still time if you would like to bring this... Oh, there's 12 votes. Winterfell is just... It looks like Winterfell is going to take it, but unless we get some votes here at the end, it does not look like Winterfell is going to fly. Drop shot trooper, I'm sorry. Dragon eggs and Winterfell, BTW supposedly. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. My two favorite castles. I would say these are not my favorite castles. These are probably my... Actually, I like a lot of castles more than I like the castles in the final. I would say I like Riverrun more. The Red Keep or King's Landing. I would say I like Dragonstone, Storm's End, and then maybe Harrenhal, and then these two. So that tells you how much this did not go the way I thought it was going to go. But all right, 13 votes have been cast. It does appear as though Winterfell is going to win. That is who I would have had to win. So Winterfell is our final winner. Rip the Eyrie. They did not make Winterfell fly this time. I'll be honest, this was a really close finale. We haven't had many of these where they're really close at the end. They've usually been like kind of one-sided, but that is your results for the stream. Castle Black, hello, yeah. No champions purse for me. Nope. Sadly, you did not make it. It's unfortunate. Sometimes you get to make the little man fly, and other times you don't. Yeah, I would have been really down for Riverrun winning. I think Riverrun's a really underrated castle. Just blatantly. But that is going to be the stream, guys. Thank you guys for everyone that stopped in, that everybody supported. Ethan for the kind donation, and for all of you guys' participation, because these live streams literally cannot happen unless you guys like participate and vote in them. So thank you guys all for that. And I will probably see you guys either next Monday or Wednesday. I think we might actually do a tier list instead. Maybe. We might come back with another bracket depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, thank you guys all for coming in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.